Head coach Pete Stanton is with us, Dickinson State. This is the Frontier Conference Football East Division Media Day, and Coach Stanton in his 12th season, 10 North Star Conference championships, 10 trips to the NAIA playoffs, and no losing seasons. Very impressive, Coach. Win-loss record of 95-29. And I have to ask, of the four Stanton brothers, who is the best coach?
Boy, that's a good question. Probably not me, but the guy at Billings Central's done a great job. No, in all kidding aside, they all did a great job. Jim and Dan did a great job at Miles City, and Rob currently at Billings West coaching two sports. And really, we got that from our dad, who was a longtime coach and school administrator, and in Richie Circle and Baker. And my brothers have had a great run.
Yeah, Jim's on his way up to maybe finishing his career as the all-time winningest coach in state history. Coach Stanton, Dickinson State, many years ago, they were involved in the Frontier. Now they're back in the Frontier. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we're excited. I think we just really like the stability that it's going to bring for us, scheduling wise, and we think it's a great transition and an easier transition for us. As the last several years, we've played Frontier schools. Whether it's non-conference and playing Rocky Mountain, and there's a few times we played Northern. We've played Western, so we have a lot of Montana guys on our roster. We have over 50 Montana guys on our roster. So we also are aware of the challenge. We know it's a tremendous conference and a great football conference, and we're excited to be a part of it this fall.
Coach, introduce us to the players you have next to you.
Excuse me?
Introduce us to the players that you have with you
today. Sorry. To my left is Carson Lunick, who's our center, who's from Havre, Montana, and Riley Waters to my right, who's our linebacker from Sidney, Montana.
Excellent. Riley, what do you like best about Dickinson State football?
My favorite part of Dickinson State football is the culture, the team camaraderie we have, and just the relationships I've built.
Carson, what do you like best about Coach Stanton?
Honestly, I think the best thing about Coach Stanton is he's a pretty straight shooter. So he'll definitely let you know like what we need to do to succeed, which I really like. And he's also one of the only coaches I've met in my career that's the same when you met him on your visit as at practice, which is always great.
Coach Stanton, tell us more about some of your top returning players back this season.
Well, these two guys here are a big part of it. Carson missed last year. He had a leg injury the first game against Rocky Mountain, didn't get to play the first game, and he's one of our returners on the offensive line. We lost a good chunk of our offensive line, so we're excited to have him back. We do return an all-conference wide receiver in Samaj Clark, an all-conference tight end and Gage Gilbert, and we have a good core running back group that played quite a bit last year for us. On the defensive side, Riley was our leading tackler last year. It did a great job in leading our defense last year. We have some of our defensive front back, Wyatt Anderson, who's from Joliet, as a guy that's back. Shell Osborne, an outside linebacker who's from Laurel, Montana, is back. Nathaniel Gillick, who is an all-conference player, is back as well. And then we do return two others in the secondary. So we have seven returners back on defense, and also our all-conference kicker, Chase Miller, is back as well.
Coach, you look at the schedule. Is there one game that stands out that you're looking forward to?
Well, the first one, is we're always excited, and we always talk one game at a time. We know we're going to have a tough stretch in there on our crossover games. We are playing Northern twice. We're playing them on a crossover games, and then we'll go through back-to-back weeks where we're playing out in Dillon against Western, and then we're playing Carroll at home as well. Then, as we get into the conference season, we get back to really some rivalry games. Games we've played Valley City and Mayville in the past. Now we're Montana Tech is a conference game for us. Rocky's a conference game for us. I think Billings, that Rocky's a game that'll be a great one because we're going to be out in Billings, and we always have a great atmosphere when we're playing them out there.
One of the largest crowds that Rocky gets when they have a home game is when they play Dickinson State. The crowd's always big. Coach, automatic bid for both divisions, maybe a couple of at-large bids. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's a good deal. I really like the work that was done to divide the conference, and I think it's going to be a very good deal. And then having those crossover games really makes it a good deal as well, because you're going to have teams that have played each other, and when you're looking, as you mentioned, a second at large or possibly a third at large, that's going to play out with how those teams did in the crossover games. So I think that's a really good deal, and say it's going to be a very strong. The Frontier Conference has always been strong, but now you have a 14-team league with two divisions, and it's really going to be a good thing for our league.
Coach, you've been around football for a long, long time. How has, the high school football in Montana, North Dakota changed over the last, 25, 30 years?
Well, definitely, and being from Montana and coaching there for 11 years as well, obviously the coaching is tremendous, and in North Dakota too, the high school coaching is gotten so good. I would say, one of the things is the style of play has really changed. As far as it's more wide open, the RPO game, the spread passing game. I think that's a big part of it. And I think one of the other things that's changed a lot, whether for the better or the worse, is a lot of summer things. There's a lot of 7-on-7 things. There's a lot of summer football and things like that. So I think these teams are coming in at the beginning of the year more prepared, and whether it's a better thing or worse thing, because they don't get as much of the summer, but for their season.
Coach, the success you've had at Dickinson State, what do you attribute that to?
Well, I think just being consistent from year to year. I think having quality players and quality people like these two guys here that are with me. I think that's a part of it. I think the support system that we have here at Dickinson with our fans and with our alumni base has been a big part of it. We have a coaching staff that's been in place. Our Coach Thier, our defensive coordinator, and Coach McCarville, our offensive coordinator, have been here for 8 seasons, and you don't always have that too. So I think that consistency and the stability has been a big key.
Dr. Crawford.
I'm going to ask Carson and Riley to talk about what's maybe the one game on the schedule that they are looking forward to the most as we enter fall 25.
Well, I guess for me, since I missed last year, I'm just really excited for game one. So it'll be great, good atmosphere at home. We get to have all our students there in attendance, as well as all our alum, and just having that. So I'm really just looking forward to game one.
For me, the game that I'm most excited for is the first one, and just taking one game at a time, growing as a team, and putting out our best football.
All right. Well, you guys are being too shy about the question, so I'm going to throw this out at you. What's the one trip you're looking forward to the most this season?
The short one.
For me, I would have to say I'm definitely looking forward to going back to Northern, so I get to go home and play in front of some of my friends and family that don't really get to make it up here very much. So heading down there will be good to just be around some friends and family a little bit.
Yeah, that'll be a fun time to be back in Havre. Coach Stanton, not only for football, but what does this move mean for Dickinson State in general to be a member of the Frontier Conference again, and how it impacts the rest of your athletic department?
It's very good for us. The thing that comes to mind right away is for years we've been on the far the far west side of the conference or the far east side of the conference. And for Dickinson State, we're going to be more in the middle geographically for that. And if you look at all of our teams, we've played a lot of the Montana teams in the past in a lot of the sports, and we're going to continue to play those teams. But the other thing I think that we're really looking forward to with the scheduling is to have a lot more home games. I think this is a really big thing for, you look at our volleyball team last year, they played their first home game at the end of September, and now they're going to have 11 home games. And I think the other thing that is a really big thing for the Dickinson community is there's going to be so much familiarity with the teams that are going to be coming to town, and there's going to be a lot of excitement. And as I said, not just in football where we have over 50 Montana players, the other sports as well. So the excitement of that, and then traveling into Montana knowing that's a conference game is an exciting thing. So I think it really is a big thing for our university.
Any questions from the media?
Go ahead, Daniel.
Coach Stanton, you talked about Carson missing some time last year. To have him back, I think you said he's going to play center this year. Just talk about that a little bit.
About Carson. Yeah, Carson last year was injured in that first game, and that was a big loss for us because we had a couple centers that came in and did a great job as the year went on, but he's definitely a leader for our team. And I think that's why, getting him back, it's tough enough to play offensive line, but also to play center and to be an all conference guy and to be a leader. I think that's just going to be a big piece back for us that we didn't have last year. And we're excited about that.
And then obviously I saw you graduated your quarterback and your running back, Will and Braden. Talk about who you can kind of see maybe stepping up into those roles this year.
Yeah, it two big losses, with obviously Will Matter was our conference player of the year last year. Tremendous player, tremendous leader. It's going to be a tough loss for us, and in particular what he did, off the field as a leader and on the field, and Braden Zuruff as well. We feel we've got three different guys that are competing for that position right now, and Marcus Sanders and Jace Freeze and Hudson Groven from Helena Capital, and those three guys have had a good spring, and we're going to let it play out here in the fall. And we did have, with Braden getting injured last year, we had two or three running backs that took on that role last year, and those guys all returned. So we feel good about those guys that are coming back.
And then Raleigh, I know Carson talked about going back to Havre, but you're a Montana guy as well. To be playing some more games in Montana this year, what does that mean to you? And does that kind of give your family a chance to maybe see you in person a little bit more?
Montana guys, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great, to be back in and playing those games there. It's always exciting when we get to go play. Like Rocky mentioned, playing a game in Billings and having the crowds that we have over there. We play great. We played out at Western last year. They're a great football team, great program, and to have a good following out there. And so many of our alumni are out in Montana, and I think it's just a really exciting thing for me personally, and we have a lot of not only a lot of Montana players, but coaches and a lot of people associated with our program. So we're excited. We know it's a great challenge. We know that, but we look forward to the challenge.
Riley, I think your coach said you guys returned 7 starters on defense. Just talk about that group and kind of as you see it kind of coming together so far.
Talk about defense. On defense, yeah, we returned 7 guys. I think we lost some important pieces, but we also got a lot of young guys that have a great opportunity to come prove themselves this season and really stand out in our defense. I think we got one of the best defenses in the Frontier, and we're going to come out and compete no matter who's out there.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Coach, everybody has been talking about their football facility. I think you have one of the finest in the nation. Tell us about your football facility there in Dickinson.
Yeah, it's a great venue. We have an unreal home environment, and it starts with our tailgating. We have a great setup there, and so we have that atmosphere. And then as you go into the stadium, several suites on both levels that have been sold out for many years. And with the turf field and the good crowds that we get, it's a fun atmosphere. It's something that our players look forward to playing in every weekend, and we're very fortunate to have the facility and the support that we have because there's a lot of fun.
Dr. Crawford, do you have anything else, sir?
Yeah, I'm going to follow up on what Coach indicated about Dickinson being in the middle of the conference and what that opportunity is. For the general public, they may or may not be aware, but Dickinson State was awarded the opportunity to host the conference championships in baseball, softball, and outdoor track and field. What does that mean to your campus and to your community, Coach?
Oh, it's big. Our community gets behind it. Last year we hosted all three, and we also just built a state-of-the-art softball complex that we think is one of the best in the NAI, and so teams are really going to enjoy coming in and playing there. But we'd had softball tournament games last year where we had 500 people in the stands, and then baseball the same thing. We have a turf field that we have a summer league team that plays here, and a great setup for baseball and then for track as well. So it's a big thing for our community, and we're lucky that we have a committee that comes out and supports it, and then we get a lot of volunteers and workers, and it's a win-win.
I'm looking forward to supporting you in that, and I know it's going to be a great environment for all three of those championships.
Well, thank you, Coach Stanton and Riley and Carson. Wish you the best of luck this season in the Frontier Conference.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.